Every so often, I will come across a base that looks absolutely amazing on the outside, such as the one behind me. Intricate details, horizontal and vertical fins, there's double layered walls. In fact, you would think this is the work of a genius. However, after rooting around inside the base, the interior design is about as appealing as drinking the globule flooded tears of the Forsaken Giant. So today, I thought we'd walk around this base, take a look at what's gone wrong, how I'd fix it, and, well, let's just enjoy the horrors of bad taste together. But as I press escape and we go back to normality, you will find out you've been scammed. Well, not really, but we've got some good Scottish weather here that is going to just have to be dealt with as we go through our tour. Now, first up, we have got a lovely checkered window effect on our right. I think it's a really, really good idea to do something like this, especially because I know what's behind it. And as we get a little bit closer to the gate, we've got an array of these fins to greet us. Strengthened foremost by the fact that there seems to be 4 of them here, and yeah, so there is an odd gap. But I would understand that blocking off this gap even would seem like a good idea if that is in fact the only reason. However, I know different, dear viewer, so we will come back to that. Now, going through the front courtyard, I think this looks fantastic. I mean, really just drink it in. It looks great. Personally, though, I just would not be able to live with what's happening at the front entrance here. Look at this. We've got these front posts going like 2/3 of the way up, but maybe whoever built this, they just like the idea. There's bamboo kind of shoots or whatever they're called all the way around this property, and having them parapeted off, I think that's quite appropriate. It looks great, but we will return to that. Now, as we walk underneath these repeated fins, it's like a canopy almost. It's just terrific. We come to, I think, what is probably best described as a pergola here. A really cozy seated area. It's extremely well lit, as you can see. Good use of the lanterns. It's a lovely way to spend an evening with friends, and we've got an open lattice roof topping off this pergola. But if you overlook the hideous vase there, you will soon become aware of a more pressing issue of what lies beneath. Now, come on. Like, what am I looking at here? The higgledy-piggledy carpet placement is it's absolutely bizarre. And I struggle to think why someone would go, oh yeah, I'm going to take 2 geometric patchwork carpets and place them in the dumbest positions possible. Whoever has to sit on this WPC bench, right, they're going to feel that thing is constantly fighting from slapping the wood right in the front corner. It just looks complete trash. Just because you can put 2 carpets in this pergola, it doesn't mean that you should. And before anyone accuses me of shaming the impoverished, let me just assure you, there is money in this house and other options are available. There's a couple of bits of this prism greenery crushed into the corner there. Somehow you've managed to make something really nice look awful just with placement alone. Just to fix all this, just smaller carpets or none whatsoever. You could maybe put like a small table or something outside here, maybe even like a little worktop out of 1/8 walls to stick some drinks on. I think this whole area would look way better. Going to the front door now. Now look inside here. This reveals a huge open living area, ideal for someone who needs their return home to feel just completely spacious. I love it. But before we can enjoy that, we have to deal with something important. Another beautiful feature here, we have floor-to-ceiling columns, and they're reskinned to the steel frame of the glass pack. However, that is the least of our worries when you look at these poor, suffering flower pots that have been squashed into oblivion for reasons that are about as acceptable as a 500-pound gorilla of a man thinking that he's going to order 1 seat on his flight. Now look, this model, you can see it clearly doesn't fit. But if we take that aside for a moment and just ask yourself, right, why create a strong statement of all of these columns if they are simply not allowed to breathe? It's the same on both sides. Adding to the cramming, right, you just look up and you go, oh, there is some industrial lighting stuffed into each of these tiny spaces above. It is simply too much. Repeated spaced steel columns, in my opinion, are a statement in of themselves. that they require no justification other than just allow them to exist. And another thing, by the way, right, when you make these columns, I just noticed that it is a good idea to uniformly snap them in. Otherwise, you get this. It looks like shoddy workmanship. Now, I'm just going to get the elephant of the room out of the way here. I'm going to talk about the herringbone floor print. It looks like Orange Lucozade diarrhea. And as I've already walked around this house, I know, guys, that they have got way better. Anyway, before we look at the rest of the space, we have to deal with this. If you turn right here, we got this Edwardian furniture shouting, "What ho, dear chap?" It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre to the point where it's a culture shock. Look at we've got industrial entrance lighting up there as well. I'm actually wondering if this is some kind of 2001 Space Odyssey joke on us. For those of you that don't know, it's a sci-fi movie where man finds himself put in artificial living quarters by supremely advanced beings who try to replicate human architecture. And you get this. A pointless lamp, by the way, separating two chairs to do what? To blind the people opposite you? I don't understand. And then the carpet underneath this dining zone is pushed so far into the wall that we can't even see the borders of it. Looking up here for lighting, in fact, generally, we've got chandeliers, and I think that is really, really nice. It does scream of the grandeur, right? But when your third and final light clips over the edge of the ceiling, this is a fifth circle of hell to someone with OCD. Anyway, plonked down here, you've got some kind of Clockmaster's Emporium version of Disneyland, but we'll circle back to that garbage. First, let's take a look at the centerpiece of this room. And that is, of course, going to be the big, tall wall here with the fireplace. Surrounded, by the way, by claustrophobic arrangement of furniture with a thick, textured rug is all but hidden by the coffee table and the surrounding sofas. I was like, how do you get into these? If you're looking at the configuration of all of this, right, it is as if, it's as if this occupant is trying to survive a nuclear winter. All the seats are as close to the fire as possible, and I suppose you could burn the books behind you for fuel if need be. But the entire place is a powder keg anyway, because you've got logs so close to the fire as possible. But not only are they in danger of reaching ignition temperatures from the side, the bookcases behind, these bookcases, what's that in there? What are they stacked on? More freaking log storage! In terms of the windows, we have gone for maximum privacy here by jamming down the bamboo trees outside, which begs the question, why have windows? Hey Barbara, what's the weather like outside? Well, Jimbo, it's going to be another great day. Oh, hi Barbie, we're living in a paradisical dream. Anyway, let us meander towards the kitchen, where we're treated to a wonderful open entrance with more shaming, by the way, of the vertical columns, which are buried somewhere behind this counter with dangling lights on it. It's almost like the builder here has begun to see these columns as a design flaw, and they're trying to hide them at all costs. Let them breathe. They need to breathe. It's like, hey, we just spent $5,000 on putting steel columns in because they look plain awesome. But no, you've got other plans, don't you? Anyway, the kitchen itself, I think it looks not too bad here if you ignore the glaring elephant in the room that is the barbecue. Barbecue. You could move this outside, actually, to your open-aired pergola, and I think that would look absolutely great. You take out those phallic plant pots and stick that barbecue in there instead. I think it'll be beautiful, but you're not going to do that, are you? Because those pesky columns, they need to be hidden, don't they? They're from both sides. We've got some overhead lights here also stuffed into the columns. I'm going to say it, guys. I think they look all right. I think if you removed that counter here on the outside and the barbecue on the inside, I think those three lights would be cool. It's just sheer overkill at the moment. Now let's take a quick look at the flooring. It has to be said, wood grain or any kind of paneled flooring looks better if the grain is all the same way. And yeah, this person has just one facing towards the kitchen counters. You don't need to do that. It's a quick fix. Sort it out. I'm just going to talk about the more pressing issue, which is this kitchen table with the chairs on a 2-inch thick rug. It doesn't fit. It doesn't even feel remotely correct in a kitchen. The floor will survive without it. I've just noticed something else. In a kitchen with running water, the last thing you need in here is a water dispenser. But hey, you do you. Now, I'm going to ignore the 5 fridges because people do go hard in this game. But if we go into the next room, my only question here is why? Why am I walking on grass right now? Have I entered a subtropical workshop where these machines are biomechanically dependent on the greenery beneath my feet? Nay, they are not. So dig all this grass up and get it gone. Where does it lead to anyway, you might ask? Outside. And whoop-de-doo, we got a balcony here with trees that are interfering with my view. To be fair, it is just completely blocked by a tree. But something else I did notice about this place when I was wandering around earlier is if you turn right here, there they are still here. You got those little kennels with the entrance pointed right at the water. Can you imagine your little pet wakes up in the morning, has a wee stretch, and then forgets that when they come out of their haven, that water is waiting for them. Bam! Cold plunge. I can't swim. Tough. Take your medicine. Moving back inside, we have crammed more of these flowers into the columns. What I'm really interested in is when we go upstairs, first of all, just break your neck when you trip over the awful cable management. Yeah. Oh, just say this, by the way, that what is this? Why is that in the middle of the floor? What is going on here? Who puts just trip over your storage crate? I like this little cute sort of study lounge area. The lighting there looks awesome against the wall print. That is really, really good. Yeah, also, I don't quite know what the issue is here by putting the Disney Globe grandfather clock thing. Just somewhere else would be fine. That's not even a feature. It's an inconvenience. Then we've got 2 mannequins and they're right in front of the stairwell. Who puts them in front of the freaking stairs? You could, for the size of this space, those mannequins could be right there. Just put them right in the center and say, hey, I've spent money in the shop. Wanna see? Right, so upstairs isn't actually as bad in some ways, but worse in others. As we get up here, you can see lovely flooring, beautiful. We've got the designer station as well, looks out onto the floor below. Moving on through, we've got a little stairwell, leads to an entertainment room. I think this is a great little space. Good usage of the sofas, angled snugly. It could actually be a little cinema room or something, but it's currently a chill space that has a view unlike any other I have ever seen in my life. What? And behind us, we've got curtains. And look, no matter how badly you want those curtains to work, I can assure you they do not. How to fix this room? I would move the entrance over to the right somehow. I would move over to the right somehow. Maybe bookshelves up on the wall if you don't have a TV or a cinema screen or something. And yeah, look, the other thing I would think about doing is that this singular print really does accentuate how odd it is to not have something to break up the color. One mass row of color without any decoration. I would put another print up there. See, you got a window going on there as well. Like, so let's go outside. More vertical fins. You just had to. You had to do it. You couldn't help yourself, could you? Something had to be slotted in there. But I suppose in terms of the view, right, you can at least congratulate yourself that you did not succumb to making a ridiculous glass monstrosity like your neighbor across the way. Yeah, good job. Having said that, I just want to watch this happen in real time. Yep, it did. So why put that little rotating dial in a wall when it's clearly going to have to phase into another dimension to get past the frickin' fins so that it can exist in our timeline? Going up the stairs, I have got more to complain about. But I have to say, I do like how these fins look, especially oh, by the power of Grayskull! Why'd you put a hole in the ceiling there? What purpose could it possibly serve other than to prank people who need surgery on their ankles after? Right, going up the stairs again, we arrive at the builder's master bedroom. I really like the idea of what they're doing here, the 4-poster bed. I have a general rule though when traversing my bases that I make myself, and that is that I should never have to jump anywhere to get to the desired place. Especially when it comes to getting in and out of bed. Mainly because it's just annoying, but I find that a bit of an immersion breaker if I can't step up where it needs to be. So basically, add some steps. I think this would be quite charming, actually. We can also see in terms of the walls that we've got a dual wall print going on here. I think this is the way. This looks really, really good. all the way around, except for where we stop decorating and it isn't finished. There's also an ensuite in here. It's going to be quite difficult to make a mess of sticking a toilet down, but you never really know with this guy. The walls, I don't even know what to say anymore, guys. There is one final floor that leads up to the rooftop, and you just had to slip it in there, didn't you? You just can't leave these things alone. It's like you have a compulsion to stick things into hole. Well, never mind. Right, anyway, that is us at the tippity top of the build and the tippity top of my tolerance for awful decision making. But I'm sure I've made other horrible decisions that people would hate as well, and I will be uploading my recent build attempts on the channel where you can eviscerate my style and taste as much as you like. Anyway, that's gonna do it for now. Take it easy, catch you in the next one. Peace!